Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso has a laundry list of high-powered endorsements, including unions, the Working Families Party, even the woman he wants to replace, retiring Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez. But will it be enough in a bare-knuckles contest that pins progressives versus the Democratic Socialists? Is it enough?
It will be enough. I have a record of the work that I've done. We're talking about things like abolishing ICE. And in my time in the city council, we got ICE out of Rikers Island. We have police reform work that I've been able to do, maternal health work, and actually affecting meaningful change in Black women's lives and being able to save them. We did a migrant resource center in Borough Hall where we gave 6,000 migrants jobs or work authorization. We've shown the work, and I think that that has value to voters, and we're excited about the 23rd.
But this is a race that pits progressives like yourself against your main opponent, who is a member of the Democratic Socialists of America. The question is, what's the main difference between your vision and her vision, and how you see your ability to deliver to New York City, but also dealing with things in Washington?
Yeah, I think the difference you're gonna see with any of these candidates, I've already done the work. And what we're looking for in Congress is effective leadership, right? We're all gonna kind of say the same things, Marsha. We're not gonna have a significantly distinction between our policies and our platforms. What you're gonna see is someone that did the hard things already, that has fought, that has been in the trenches, that has seen, got in the kitchen was hot, and I was always present, I was always there. I did the hard things for the movement.
But here is the question, here is the key question. So, since you don't differ on a lot of things, why are you a better choice to succeed La Luchadora?
Yeah, well, one, I have her endorsement, and it's a blessing, is a reflection of what she thinks is like the legacy that she wants to be able to leave, and I think that that's deeply important. But again, it's just about outcomes. I've been the one that's passed legislation, I've led the Progressive Caucus, founded New Kings Democrats to fight against the Democratic Party. I organized with Acorn for child care providers in the UFT. I think where you're not gonna be able to see from any other candidates is a laundry list of the accomplishments that I've had. So it's about being able to deliver. So what you're gonna be able to see is a representative that goes to Congress and actually gets things done.
So one of the big things that the two of you support is you talk about Gaza. But my question to you is, when you go to, if you were to get elected and you went to Washington, you'd have to deal with the question of weapons sales to Israel. And do you support any kind of weapon sales to Israel?
I do not support it. Right now.
Not even defensive?
Not even defensive. I think we have to have a conversation about not only Israel, but if we have international partners and a relationship with them, and we have the ICC talking about war crimes and doing things like the genocide in Gaza, for example, we can't allow anyone, not only Israel, but anyone, behave that way and not be held to account. And Israel has a relationship with America where we're not able to have these conversations in earnest. And I think that that is going to change. I think people are already seeing differences. 40 senators voted against sending weapons to Israel just recently.
But the question is whether it's offensive weapons or defensive weapons. And my understanding is that there was a concern about offensive weapons, but that people still support Iron Dome and things for defense.
I think the Iron Dome is deeply important, but until we don't.
So you wouldn't support Iron Dome?
I wouldn't. Definitely under the Netanyahu regime.
So you wouldn't support Iron Dome either? So even if Israel's attacked, they won't be able to stop the weapons?
They're going to be able to protect themselves, and they have the resources in being able to do that. But my big thing is Netanyahu regime shouldn't be getting any resources from the United States of America.
But what if there's a change of regime? Would you change your mind?
There's a conversation that we could talk about, and I think it introduces our ability to reestablish a relationship with Israel, but we have to talk about accountability. We can't allow for us to just allow for a country to proceed with a genocide and think that we're just going to keep it moving. We have to re-establish relationships in a more meaningful and thoughtful way, and right now that's not happening, but it will be happening in the future.
So another issue that's related to that is marching in the Israeli Day Parade, which is Sunday today, the day the show is airing. Will you be marching?
I've never marched in the Israeli Day Parade. I'm not a big parade guy. Can I just say that when I became borough president, I feel like this position was very like a performative position. It's just like cheerleading, and I wanted it to mean something. So I don't throw flag raisings, I don't do Independence Days, all these celebrations that Marty Markowitz and Eric Adams were known for, they just don't happen anymore. And that includes showing up to parades. So I haven't done it in the past, but I've never been to the Israeli Day Parade.
How do you feel about the fact that the mayor of the city of New York has decided not to march? Some people in the Jewish community see that as something that fosters anti-Semitism?
We have to be careful. It's a very tough thing. If it was a Jewish Heritage Parade, I think it's something that I would see Mayor Mamdani being able to be a part of. But Israel, and talking about the country itself, is a different conversation. And the Jewish community does, we have to have that distinction. What Israel is doing and the Jewish faith and the Jewish people are two different things. And I think what you're seeing is the mayor clearly saying that he doesn't support the actions of Israel and is detached from his feelings about the Jewish people.
I mean, the reason I asked the question, because there has been such a huge increase in anti-Semitic incidents, especially in your borough. Yeah, they have been. And I wonder if that's a concern of yours.
It's a huge concern. I don't think we've done a good job of being able to dispel or lessen the amount of anti-Semitism that's happened. I think we really need to have someone that can unite people and bring people together, have more serious conversations about what attacking anti-Semitism looks like, but we have not been successful, and it's been very scary for many families, Jewish families in Brooklyn, and we're thinking outside the box and as thoughtful as we possibly can to really push back against the hate that we're seeing not only in our borough but in our city.
So I'd like to switch to housing. I wonder how you feel about some of the new housing proposals. Do you think that wealthy neighborhoods should be forced to have affordable housing?
100%. I have a comprehensive plan that I put out in Brooklyn, and it specifically talks about the fact that we have neighborhoods that are mostly affluent and white, but mostly affluent, that have built almost no housing in the city of New York. Sheepshead Bay and Bay Ridge have built less than 9 units of housing. Forget about affordable housing, just housing.
And parts of Manhattan as well.
And parts of Manhattan. I'm the Brooklyn Borough President, so I have that other borough that I don't go to very often.
But let me ask you something. When you were in the council, if there was something that was going to go on in your district, you had the right to stop it. Yeah. And the question is this: if a neighborhood opposes a new housing development, should they be able to do that?
Yeah, absolutely not.
But you were able to do it when you were in the council.
Well, what happened 12 years ago to what's happening now, when you have a crisis, you need a crisis level response. And the crisis right now is housing. The affordability is hitting every single family in our country, not only in our city. So we can't solve for this comprehensive citywide solution with local conversations. We need to be able to have a larger view, which is why the City of Yes was a good move. And we have to be very careful about allowing council members and this member deference to shut down projects that are needed and essential for the people of the City of New York.
So if you were to get elected, what would you do to push back against Trump-era actions that you may find reprehensible?
It's accountability. I feel that right after Trump lost and Biden won, that the Democratic Party went back to business as usual. They went back to thinking that what Donald Trump and the regime was a flash in the pan. And they didn't do any accountability, oversight, no subpoenas or investigations. They just didn't do enough of it. When we get there, we can't allow that to happen. People are breaking laws, they're doing illegal things, and we should be holding people accountable. And I think that's one of the first things that we need to do. And the other thing is we have to use the budget. We have that power. Now we're going to be the majority in Congress come January 1st, and we have to leverage every single opportunity through the budget to undo a lot of this tyrannical and fascist work that Donald Trump and the Republicans have pushed forward.
If they're in the majority, would you vote for Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker?
I will vote for Hakeem Jeffries to be the Speaker.
How come?
I think one of the few moments in this federal government where Democrats were proud of the leadership that was happening in Congress came from when we were united during the Speaker vote. And Mike Johnson needed 20, 30, 40 times the vote had to come up. Not Hakeem. He got universal consensus.
And you're a Hakeem man.
Well, it's not so much that I'm a Hakeem man.
But you're going to support him.
I will support him. And I'm going to be pushing him to the left, which is the work that we're supposed to be doing. I don't think that, I think his centrist nature is something that I want to contend and push back on.
Well, we're going to have to leave it right there for now. But up next, Assemblywoman Claire Valdez running for Congress with the support of the Democratic Socialists. We are back with Brooklyn Borough President Antonio Reynoso, and I want to talk about immigration.
Yes.
Now, New York City had an influx of immigrants in the last several years. What did New York City officials do wrong?
I don't necessarily think we did wrong. I think our rhetoric was problematic more so than the actions we took. We ended up handling a crisis situation in a very positive way. The migrants didn't destroy the city. We just needed to make sure that they got work authorization and were able to start pursuing their American dream, which is what they were asking for. So I don't think we did anything wrong. I think the rhetoric that Eric Adams was pushing really took away from how he handled a crisis in a moment.
Do you think he handled it well?
I think he did. If I was to give him a grade, I would give him a B. I think outside of the rhetoric, the work he did was good. We found the $5 billion or whatever it cost. We had hundreds of thousands of them come in, and we were able to give them homes, make sure we'll give them a place like a cot and a place to sleep. We were able to feed them, and it made me feel like it's our obligation as humans to do that. And I feel like he got that done. If he would just have not matched it with this negative rhetoric and supporting like the federal...
I mean, the attack on Biden and everything was
Not
wrong.
only the attack on Biden, that he said the migrants will destroy the city. It was just like, that was the dumbest thing that you could say. Nothing destroys the city. This city has never been destroyed and never will be destroyed. And I wish that instead of cowering and being scared or being able to present that, would have presented like, hey, we got this. It is tough. This is going to be a crisis, but we will get it done because we are New York. Is how he should have went.
So if you get elected, what's your first piece of legislation? I
want to talk about housing in a real way. We used to have Section 8 in New York, it doesn't exist anymore. 202 senior housing, Mitchell-Lama affordable home ownership for middle class, NYCHA, all these things were parts of the federal government in assisting the state and the city in being able to get out of the housing crisis.
Yeah, but the federal government has cut back on all those programs.
We have to bring them back.
How are you going to get Donald Trump, the president, who's still the president and still a Republican, to do that?
The affordability crisis is not only hitting Democratic cities. Nebraska and Mississippi are suffering through the exact same thing. Can I talk to a Republican representative and say, hey, this affordable housing, affordable home ownership, and bringing back the American dream is something that is not only meaningful in New York and in the district I represent, but also in the suburbs and the places you represent. I want the next generation to know that they can buy a house, they can retire comfortably, and the American dream could be something that's attainable again. And that's the work that I want to do. As a city council member, I've been very good at building coalitions and doing hard things. I'm the co-chair of the Progressive Caucus and being able to bring people together to execute things. I want to do that at the federal level.
So getting a little bit more local, your major opponent, Claire Valdez, voted against the New York State budget, which just passed. Would you have done the same thing?
The New York State budget closed a $6 billion gap in the city. It changed Tier 6 pension for unions. It gave money for utility bills for people that are struggling with it. This, by all intents and purposes, I believe in an objective way, was a good budget. It took way too long, but we got there.
So you would have voted for it?
I would have voted for the budget.
Did she make a mistake to vote no?
I'm not in the head of Claire Valdez. That's her actions that she wants to take. Go ahead, but I'm really grateful for the change in Tier 6 and the support for unions and the fact that $5 billion to Mayor Mamdani, that really helped them close the gap on this crisis that we had in the budget.
So speaking of state issues, the governor's running for re-election. Do you plan to endorse her?
The governor hasn't asked me to endorse, but I want to be perfectly honest. I'm laser focused on getting elected as the next congressperson. So I haven't talked to many people. I actually understand that. Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody about about endorsements. Tish James, I think, is running as well, and I haven't.
You're going to endorse her?
No one's asked me. If Tish
she endorsed
wants it,
you.
She did. If she asked me, I'll be there to endorse. But I think people are letting me run this race and understand that this is what I should be focused on.
So I'm curious how Williamsburg has changed since you were a kid.
Yeah, I was born in Cumberland Hospital and raised in Williamsburg. And in that time, it was like 90% Latino. Now the Latino population is closer to like 35%. So we've seen a huge gentrification wave hit Williamsburg, and it's been very tough. But I do want to say the preservation of the Latinos in the community come exclusively from Section 8-based housing and these organizations like Los Sures and St. Nicholas. So I'm deeply grateful for the work that these not-for-profits did to keep the Latino community intact.
So what quality or skill do you possess that you think will make you a good congressman?
I bring people together. I'm the greatest coalition builder that you're going to meet, Marsha. Let me talk, like this race. I have Hasidic Jewish Williamsburg families supporting me. I got Muslims in City Line supporting me. I have the Chinese community in Lindsay Park that's with me. I have the Dominicans and the Puerto Ricans working together. I have this diverse coalition that's gorgeous. It's beautiful, and it really represents the entire district. And I'm somebody that knows how to find the common concerns that people have and then do something about it in a meaningful way. So I'm really excited to be the representative that really brings the broadest and most diverse coalition to Congress.
So what's the one thing your mom bugged you about when you were a kid?
When I was a kid, I I leave my shoes in the middle of the living room every single day. Still to today, my mom visits my house and sees my shoes, and she's my
you
wife.
Still do that today?
I still do it. My wife tells me that my mom, every time she visits, can't stop talking about my shoes. I don't know why I just can't put them where they belong, but that's the one thing my mom mostly complains about.
Do you have a secret skill or talent?
A secret skill or talent? I'm a very athletic individual.
And I can tell by your kicks.
Yes, my sister took care of me. Shout out to Lily, my sister. She said that I was in the campaign. She saw I was walking a lot and said, I'm gonna get you more comfortable sneakers, and this is what she did. But love basketball, football, baseball. It doesn't matter what sport you put me into, I'm gonna be competitive.
So what's your last TV or streaming thing that you watched?
I'm watching Casino, which is a movie. I'm watching Casino with my wife, who's never watched it. She has not watched a lot of classic movies, and Martin Scorsese is one of my favorite directors, and I wanted her to see Casino, so that's something.
You ready for this time? When was the last time you wore a costume, and what did you dress as?
The last time I wore a costume, I was dressed as a Paw Patrol member. It was the garbage one. I don't remember his name. Rubble, I think is his name.
Yeah.
My son was really into Paw Patrol for Halloween, and I had to be Rubble.
Okay.
He was Chase, and my wife was something else, but yeah, I was Rubble.
What's your most memorable birthday?
My most memorable birthday. I remember a birthday when my parents, I come from very humble beginnings, very poor, and my parents got me a blue birthday cake that was so beautiful. It was like a little cartoon character of sorts. And I just remember just being so grateful that I got like a unique cake. It wasn't something that was store-bought. They really went out of their way to get something that was good for me.
That's great.
And it was like, I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I can't get that image out of my head of how beautiful the cake was and how grateful I am to my
What
parents.
was the last time you admitted being wrong?
Oh, I do it every day. Today I did.
Oh, come on.
I said I am a.
Well, how were you wrong today?
So today I wanted to leave. I needed to get ready for this interview, and I told my staff that I needed to get out of New Jersey, where we were supporting the ICE detainees and all the support services that were happening at Delaney Hall. And they said you needed to stay a couple more minutes because I had somebody that was coming, another interviewer that was coming, and I said I would wait, but I'm only going to do it for 5 minutes. They showed up, and it ended up being good because I was able to give more context. I think elected officials should be going to New Jersey, to Delaney Hall, and if you feel powerless, it's important that people see and hear their leaders voicing their frustration and also informing and educating people on what's happening. And I was ready to leave, and two more cameras came, and I was able to do those interviews. So my staff was grateful that I listened to them and that I was wrong, that I shouldn't have left. So there you go.
So what's your least favorite vegetable?
My least favorite vegetable? Oh, there's a lot of them. But eggplant.
You're not a veggie?
Is eggplant even a vegetable? I don't.
Yeah, it's a vegetable.
All right. I'm not a vegetable guy. Don't tell my kids that.
Okay.
My kids, carrots, broccoli, amazing. But no, I can't stand vegetables.
What do you think people notice most about you?
What they notice most? Yeah. I hope it's my joy. I'm just like I'm a very blessed and happy person. I'm very fortunate. So I try to express as much joy as possible. So I hope they see joy.
Do you have a go-to karaoke song?
It's What's Your Fantasy by Ludacris. It's like a rap song. Yeah, but it's really fun.
I'm not going to ask you to do it.
No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. It might not be PG, but it's a fun song to do. And I can't sing if my life depended on it. So it's like a rap.
Can I, so
it's like
a
rap song. It's like a rap song, so it works out. You end up just rapping.
So thank you for being here,
Thank you
and
so
thank
much.
you at home for watching us as well.